And that work hasn't only been done at the I School, but also here in the Carrier Dome as the coach for one of the more recognizable faces on campus. I think that they felt that their shots were just falling. This is a very confident team. Tyus Battle, Frank Howard, O'Shea Brissett, they know they have to take shots. Jim Boeheim has said as much. The two programs hadn't met since the 2004 National Championship, which Syracuse won to bring home its third title in 5 seasons. If you thought it was loud in here today, after the game, Jim Boeheim said that the atmosphere of this game, compared to the old Big East matchups, like a firecracker to a bomb. Well, when you think of the Pac-12, the mind might immediately go to football or basketball, but this is 2018, the inaugural season for Pac-12 women's lacrosse. And on New Year's Eve, Frank Howard had just one New Year's resolution: keep winning. The Orange will look to do just that when they travel down to Winston-Salem, North Carolina to take on Wake Forest. From last season, you guys graduated a lot of starters across the board. Not just starters, though, all of your captains from last year. You have some returning guys, though. Who of those returning guys do you think is ready to step up and take that leadership role?
There's something about it that's very addicting. I love that it's sort of a combination of art and athleticism. I still want to be there even after I've had a full week of practice. I just go in my spare time.
Alex Ambrose was born in Dallas, Texas. When she was 6 years old, she moved to Herndon, Virginia, where her mom sent her to her first skating camp.
And I hated it, and I stayed on the wall the entire week and chose not to move. And then when I had the performance at the end of the week for the whole camp, I ended up just loving performing skating, so I ended up getting into it and just started taking lessons, and 15 years later, here I am. But after nearly a dozen years on the ice, Alex was ready to hang up her skates. I actually wanted to come to college and get away from skating because I've been doing it for so long, and it was such a big time commitment that I wanted to kind of have a break from it, and I thought I was done.
That is, until one of the captains of the synchronized skating team invited her to a practice.
It was totally by chance. Did not mean to end up on a team at all, but I've fallen in love with all the girls on the team, and I really do love synchro now too. I never knew that I would like it as much as I do.
Now a member of Orange Experience Synchronized Skating, the team has become a big part of her life here at Syracuse University. And whether she knows it or not, the 3-year veteran and co-captain has had a great impact on her teammates as well.
She's a good inspiration because she started from like nothing. She didn't do synchro, and now she's like telling us what to do, and I think that's so inspirational for me, at least.
She leads the team so well, and I don't know what we're going to do without her next year.
The senior says that this season will be her last in synchronized competition, but skating, that's something she'll continue to do for the rest of her life. Nick Dugan, NCC News. Hello and welcome to sports. I'm Nick Dugan. Game 1 of the North Division semifinals between the Crunch and the Amherst was never in doubt. Syracuse pulled away in the third period to win it 6-2, taking a 1-0 series lead. Game 2 tonight at the War Memorial, a little closer than the hometown fans would have liked. There you see fans waving those flags high in the War Memorial Arena. We picked this one up first period. Matthew Joseph sits himself right in front of the crease and is in a perfect position to get that quick score. It makes it 2-1 Crunch early on. Syracuse would extend that lead into the second with 2 early goals. This is Matthew Pekka in the corner. Pitches it out front to Mitchell Stevens. No good, but the rebound, Olivier Archambault puts it home. Crunch up 4-1 just 3 minutes into the period. Rochester would hang around, but Alexander Volkov nets 2 goals in the third. And this rebound here, wide open net, all alone would be the difference. First time with back-to-back 6-goal games for the Crunch since 2013. Syracuse wins it 6-5 and takes a commanding 2-0 series lead. And after the game, the head man was pleased with the team's playoff intensity.
The more you go into the playoff, the more intense games become. And today, a lot of momentum swing both sides. Very happy for our team. Like, we battle hard, and it's a good win.
The Crunch return to action for Game 3 on Wednesday night out in Rochester. Puck drop is scheduled for 7:05 p.m. On the Hill, Syracuse men's lacrosse has been tearing through ACC competition with a perfect 4-0 record. Outside of the conference, though, they were 3-4 heading into this afternoon's tilt with the Naval Academy. The two programs hadn't met since the 2004 National Championship, which Syracuse won to bring home its third title in 5 seasons. No hardware on the line today, but a special matchup for one family in particular. Danny Varello going up against his big brother Joe at the Faceoff X. First time they've done that in their college careers. Navy quickly builds a 4-1 lead in that first quarter, and in the second, it's Grayson Terrain. He shakes and then scores, giving the midshipmen a 6-3 lead, a hat trick for the junior on the day. But Syracuse answers with 3 straight goals, and how about 6 assists on the day from Stephen Rafis? That one to Nate Solomon, 2 goals for him. This one's all knotted at 6 going into the break. Head to the fourth quarter. Tucker Dordovic, the spin and score from distance, put Syracuse up 12-11 with 58 seconds left. But a turnover leads to a Navy transition, and then Jack Ray, with 9 seconds to go, ties this game up at 12. Then the ensuing faceoff, Joe Varello wins it. Ball is loose. Varello finds it again. Game winner. Varello would win 6 of the final 8 faceoffs against his brother. None more important than the last. That final goal gives Navy the victory 13-12. And just days after SU sophomore guard Tyus Battle announced his entrance into the NBA draft, redshirt freshman Matthew Moyer has found his new home at Vanderbilt University. Moyer expressed his intent to transfer to another university last month, but had still been deciding on a final destination. Moyer confirmed the move via Twitter this afternoon. The former 4-star recruit from Ohio averaged just over 3 points and 3 rebounds per game last season after sitting out the previous year due to injury. Moyer will join a Vandy program that went just 12-20 last winter, but also one that welcomes 2 McDonald's All-Americans to campus in 2018. And as one member of the Orange departs, another alum returns to the state of New York. Former SU punter Riley Dixon has been traded from the Denver Broncos to the New York Giants in exchange for a conditional 7th-round pick in next year's draft. The former walk-on turned Ray Guy Award finalist booted 73 punts for Denver last season, averaging about 40 yards per kick. And former Syracuse great and all-pro defensive lineman Dwight Freeney has announced his retirement after 16 NFL seasons. Despite playing his last game with the Detroit Lions in 2017, he signed a 1-day contract with the Indianapolis Colts today. The Hartford, Connecticut native played his first 11 seasons with the Colts, on his way to a stellar pro career. That includes 125.5 sacks, good for 17th all-time, and of course, that championship ring from Super Bowl 41. That's going to do it for sports. I'm Nick Dugan.